Kareem. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, welcome to the press briefing. We had to shift it from Thursday to Friday because yesterday, you understand, the whole day we were busy. All of you were busy with the presence of Turkish president in Islamabad. On the invitation of the Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif, President of Turkey, His Excellency Mr. Recep Tayyip Erdogan visited Pakistan from 12 to 13 February 2025. President Erdogan was accompanied by a high-level delegation, including ministers and senior officials, as well as corporate leaders. President Erdogan also had friendly meetings with Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and President Asif Ali Zardari. Uh, Together with Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, thank you. Sorry. Together with Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, he addressed the Pakistan-Turkey Business and Investment Forum, bringing together leading investors, companies, and business people from both sides. During the visit, Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and President Erdogan co-chaired the 7th session of Pakistan-Turkey High-Level Strategic Cooperation Council. At the conclusion of the session, a joint declaration and a number of important agreements, MOUs, were signed. The two leaders also addressed a joint press takeout. During the high-level Strategic Cooperation Council, both sides agreed to give further impetus to the existing bilateral cooperation between the two countries in all spheres, including inter alia, defense, trade and investment, banking, finance, education, health, energy, culture, tourism, transport and communication, agriculture, water, science and technology. Joint working groups have been renamed as standing committees. New joint standing committees, namely security, defense and intelligence, health, science and technology, have been established under the HLSCC mechanism. Both sides exchanged views on regional and global developments of mutual interest. The two sides underscored the need for resolution of all outstanding disputes between Pakistan and India, including the core dispute of Jammu and Kashmir, in accordance with the relevant UN Security Council resolutions and wishes of the Kashmiri people. In this regard, Pakistan expresses deep appreciation for Turkey's principled stance on the issue. The two countries reiterated full and resolute support for the efforts towards the just, lasting, and sustainable settlement of the Cyprus issue. Pakistan reaffirmed its support to the Turkish Cypriots and Turkey in this regard. Turkey expresses its deep appreciation for Pakistan's principled stance on the issue. Both sides reiterated their support for a peaceful and stable Afghanistan, and they further underscored that Afghanistan should not become a safe haven for terrorist groups. All necessary measures to counter terrorism need to be taken by interim Afghan authorities, including against TTP and Daesh, which remain listed under the 1267 UNSC sanction regime. The two sides expressed their grave concerns at the unprecedented loss of lives and property as well as displacements of hundreds of thousands of Palestinians as a result of indiscriminate use of force by Israel. At the invitation of Vice President and Prime Minister of United Arab Emirates and ruler of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif went on a two-day visit to the UAE from 10th to 11th February 2025 to participate in the World Government Summit in Dubai. Prime Minister was accompanied by a high-level delegation, including Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister, Minister of Defense, Minister for Finance, Minister for Information, Minister for Power, Minister for Economic Affairs, and Special Assistant to the Prime Minister. During his visit, the Prime Minister delivered a keynote address at the World Government Summit in which he emphasized the need for shared responsibility in global transition to give a green economy and reaffirmed Pakistan's commitment to mobilize domestic resources and implement policy reforms. On the sidelines of the World Government Summit, the Prime Minister met with the President of UAE and ruler of Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Prime Minister of UAE, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, President of Sri Lanka, Anura Kumara Dissanayake, Prime Minister of Kuwait, Sheikh Ahmed Abdullah Al Ahmed Al Sabah, Chairwoman of Presidency of Bosnia and Herzegovina. During these meetings, they discuss ways to deepen bilateral cooperation and explore opportunities to enhance partnership in areas of mutual interest, including trade, investment, infrastructure, energy, etc. They also exchanged views on regional and international issues of mutual interest, with a focus on recent developments in the Middle East, particularly the evolving situation in Gaza, and emphasized full implementation of ceasefire in Gaza. Prime Minister also held meetings with DP World's Group Chairman and CEO, Sultan Ahmad bin Suleiman, Managing Director of International Monetary Fund, and US investors delegation led by Mr. Gentry Beach. The Prime Minister also visited Edge of Government exhibition during the summit in Dubai, where he was briefed on innovative governance solutions from around the world. We considered the Pakistan-specific reference in the Indo-US Joint Statement of 13 February 2025 as one-sided, misleading, and contrary to diplomatic norms. We are surprised that the reference has been added to the joint statement, notwithstanding Pakistan's counter-terrorism cooperation with the United States. Such references cannot cover up India's sponsorship of terrorism, subversion, and extrajudicial assassinations in the region and beyond, nor can they shift international attention from stark reality of India being a safe haven for the perpetrators of hate crimes against Muslims and other minorities. The joint statement fails to address non-compliance of India with UN Security Council resolutions, which is the key source of tension and instability in the region, and to take cognizance of the grim human rights situation in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. Regrettably, this is tantamount to abdication of international responsibility. The international community recognizes Pakistan's efforts and sacrifices in the fight against terrorism. As a country that has enormously suffered from terrorism, Pakistan would continue to contribute constructively to the regional and global efforts to promote peace and stability in the region. It remains committed to bring the fight against terrorism to its logical conclusion by eliminating this scourge from its soil. Pakistan also remains committed to continue with counter-terrorism efforts to address the issue of terrorism, including acts of terrorism perpetrated by foreign elements. Pakistan is also deeply concerned over planned transfer of advanced military technologies to India. Such steps accentuate military imbalances in the region and undermine strategic stability. They remain unhelpful in achieving the objective of a durable peace in South Asia. We urge our international partners to take a holistic and objective view of the issues of peace and security in South Asia and refrain from endorsing positions that are one-sided and divorced from ground realities. Pakistan strongly condemns in unequivocal terms the recent statement by Israeli Prime Minister suggesting that the Palestinian people should establish a state in Saudi Arabia. The remarks by Israel are irresponsible, provocative, and thoughtless, and are offending, undermining, and disregarding the legitimate rights of the Palestinian people to self-determination and an independent state on their own historical and legitimate territory. Pakistan stands in solidarity with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and any attempt to undermine Saudi Arabia's unwavering position and misrepresentation of its commitment to the Palestinian cause is deeply regrettable. Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister Senator Mohammad Ishaq Dar held telephonic conversations with the Foreign Ministers of Iran, Foreign Minister of Arab Republic of Egypt, Foreign Minister of Turkey, Foreign Minister of Malaysia, Foreign Minister of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of the United Arab Emirates. During these calls, the Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister termed the proposal to displace the people of Gaza deeply troubling and unjust. He also conveyed Pakistan's support for convening of an extraordinary OIC meeting of the foreign ministers to deliberate upon this issue. The second round of Pakistan-Qatar bilateral political consultations was held on 10th February 2025 in Doha. Foreign Secretary Ms. Amna Baloch led the Pakistan delegation, while the Qatari side was headed by State Minister for Foreign Affairs, State of Qatar, Sultan bin Saad Al Muraki. The two sides reviewed the entire gamut of bilateral relations, including political, economic, consular, and people-to-people contacts, and exchanged views on regional and international issues, and reaffirmed commitment for continued collaboration and consultations. The second round of Pakistan-Turkey counter-terrorism consultations were held in Islamabad on 10th February 2025. And so far 16 dead bodies have been recovered. Pakistani nationality of the victims were established on the basis of their passports. There are 37 survivors, including one in hospital and 33 in police custody. Reportedly, around 10 Pakistanis were missing in the accident. 3 of the survivors are in Tripoli and being looked after by the embassy. The list containing details of the dead bodies so far identified as Pakistani nationals has already been shared with the media. Our embassy in Tripoli is in the process of gathering further information and maintaining contact with the local authorities. Pakistan firmly believes that Palestinian people have an inalienable right to establish an independent and sovereign state based on pre-1967 borders, with Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital. Any proposal that seeks to displace or relocate the Palestinian people from their ancestral homeland is unacceptable and constitutes a blatant violation of international law, UN resolutions, and principles of justice and fairness. We urge the international community to denounce these provocative ideas and hold Israel accountable for its continued attempt to undermine the peace process. Pakistan's policy on terrorism and foreign occupation remains unchanged. We have learned with grave concern that last week 2 Kashmiri youth lost their lives in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir due to the high-handed approach of the Indian forces. There are reports that 25-year-old man committed suicide after severe torture by police in Kathua district. He recorded a video before his death, maintaining that police officers coerced him into confessing links with militants despite being innocent. In another incident, a truck driver from Sopore district, Wasim Ahmed, was shot down by Indian forces on Srinagar-Barabola highway when he allegedly did not stop at a checkpost. These incidents must be investigated and the culprits be held to account. The Prime Minister, in terms of announcement, the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Senator Mohammad Ishaq Dar, will travel to New York to participate in the high-level meeting of UN Security Council on practicing multilateralism, reforming and improving global governance, scheduled to be held from 18 February 2025. The meeting has been convened by China under its rotating presidency of the Security Council for the month of 2025. It will be chaired by His Excellency Mr. Wang Yi, the Foreign Minister of China. On the sidelines of the UN Security Council meeting, Deputy Prime Minister, Foreign Minister is also expected to hold bilateral meetings with his counterparts as well as senior UN officials. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The floor is open for questions.